Have you ever noticed how some people struggle to ask for help? Even when they clearly need it, they fix everything on their own. They solve every problem themselves. And no matter how difficult things get, they still say, I'll handle it. At first glance, this looks like strength, like independence, like confidence. But if you look a little deeper, there's a different story underneath. Because this behavior is not just about being capable, it's about how the mind learns to protect itself. Many people who do everything alone didn't start that way. At some point in their life, they depended on someone. They trusted someone, and that trust didn't go the way they expected. Maybe they were ignored. Maybe they were disappointed. Or maybe they simply felt like they had no one to rely on. And in that moment, the brain made a quiet decision. Don't depend on anyone again. From there, everything begins to change. They start solving their own problems, handling their own struggles, figuring things out without asking for help. And over time, this becomes more than a habit. It becomes identity. Psychology calls this self-reliance. And in many ways, it's a powerful trait. It builds resilience. It creates confidence. It teaches a person that they can survive difficult situations on their own. But like most things in life, when it goes too far, it starts to create problems. Because extreme self-reliance often comes with something hidden underneath it. Fear. Not obvious fear, but quiet, deeply rooted fear. Fear of being let down. Fear of being seen as weak. And most importantly, fear of losing control. This is where something called self-efficacy comes in. The belief that I can handle things myself. And yes, that belief is powerful. But when someone feels like they must handle everything alone, it stops being strength and starts becoming pressure. Another piece of this puzzle is perfectionism. Some people don't just want things done. They want them done right. Exactly right. And trusting someone else means accepting that things might not be perfect. So instead, they take everything on themselves. More responsibility, more pressure, more stress. And slowly, it becomes overwhelming. There's also something deeper happening here. Something shaped in early life. Attachment patterns. If someone grows up feeling unsupported, their brain adapts. It learns not to expect help, not to rely on others, not to reach out. And over time, they stop asking altogether. Even when help is available, even when people are willing, they still choose to do everything alone. And here's the interesting part. The world often rewards this behavior. People say things like, "You're so strong. You don't need anyone. You've got it all figured out." And while those words sound positive, they can quietly reinforce isolation. Because strength without support eventually turns into exhaustion. Handling everything alone is heavy. It drains energy. It creates distance in relationships, and it makes trust feel unfamiliar. Relationships become harder because letting someone in feels uncomfortable. Vulnerability feels risky, and asking for help feels unnatural. But here's the truth. This behavior isn't wrong. At one point, it protected you. It helped you survive. It made you capable. It made you strong. But what once protected you can also start holding you back. Because real strength is not just about doing everything alone. Real strength is about balance. It's about knowing when to stand on your own and when to let someone stand beside you. It's about trusting, even when it feels uncomfortable. It's about allowing yourself to not be in control all the time. Because connection requires openness, and openness requires courage. So if you're someone who does everything alone, take a moment and ask yourself, is this truly strength? Or is it something deeper, something quieter, something protective? Because sometimes the hardest thing isn't handling everything by yourself. It's allowing someone else to help you. And maybe that's where real growth begins. You don't have to do everything alone. And maybe you were never meant to.